Wales, a land of myth and legend, natural beauty and mystique. Everybody knows the colossal castles of Raglan, Caerphilly, Pembroke and Cardiff. But in today's video we'll be exploring this great countryside as we uncover the lesser known historic castles which crown the hills and valleys of South Wales. Welcome to the Hidden Castles of South Wales. We begin our journey on the western outskirts of the Brecon Beacons, nearby a small village named Trap. Here, standing proud atop a rocky crag, stands the ruins of Carreg Cennen. This impressive stone castle was built in the mid-13th century, and unlike many castles in Wales from this period of time, it is actually built by the Welsh, not the English. A timber palisade castle likely stood on this site before being fortified in stone, and is believed that the Lord Rhys, a powerful Welsh lord and indeed the Prince of Wales, commissioned this castle to expand and concrete his rule over the local land in the late 12th century. During the days of the Lord Rhys, Welsh nobles were at near constant loggerheads with the Norman Marcher lords, who had been gradually seizing land around Wales ever since the invasion of 1066. In 1158, King Henry II invaded Wales and took the Lord Rhys prisoner, stripping him of his lands and titles. However, he was later released and given back a small portion of his holdings, and later in 1171, peace talks were negotiated and the Lord Rhys became the justiciar of South Wales. Following King Henry's death in 1189, the Lord Rhys fell out with the next King of England, Richard I, and subsequently military campaigns continued, this time with the Welsh lords successfully besieging multiple English castles around Wales. The Lord Rhys died in 1196 and was buried at St David's Cathedral in Pembrokeshire, where his effigy, and various other effigies of descendants of his household, can still be seen today. Although these effigies were built much later in history and portray a knight in 14th century armour, Lord Rhys would have looked much more like this during his military campaigns. Carreg Cennen was handed over to King Edward I in 1277, as the English king planned a new military conquest into Wales, but a rebellion just 5 years later in 1282 saw the Welsh seize the castle as a nationwide revolt against the English escalated. By 1283, Edward had recaptured Carreg Cennen and the castle remained in the hands of the English until its destruction between 1461 and 1462. Carreg Cennen witnessed a fairly peaceful time during the 14th century, but in 1403, Owain Glyndwr besieged the castle with approximately 800 men and dealt considerable damage to the fortified walls. Despite this, he was unable to successfully take the castle and disbanded the siege a few months later. The castle was later repaired and became a Lancastrian fortress during the War of the Roses. In 1461, following the Yorkist victory at the Battle of Mortimer's Cross, the Lancastrians were forced to surrender Carreg Cennen, and the Yorkist army partially demolished the castle for an act called slighting, where partial sections of the walls and towers are mined to make them indefensible. Despite its clearly imposing silhouette atop the hill, the main point of interest at Carreg Cennen is actually the tunnel, which is bored deep into the limestone rock. Medieval loopholes and masonry can be seen as you descend the stone-hewn steps. However, the tunnel turns into a rocky cave system which twists and turns. This is an ancient cave, pre-existing man by millions of years. Indeed, excavations on this site has revealed multiple human bones believed to have been dated to the Paleolithic period, meaning that people had been sheltering in this cave for tens of thousands of years before the castle was ever built. The tunnel and the cave system are over 50 meters long, and is just one of many cave systems hidden under the castle. However, this is the only one that is publicly accessible.